Hi, it's me, the financial friend. So today I'll talk about uh, investment and how you should approach it. So the ways you should approach it is by thinking long term and short term. Most of my investments are long term. Right now I'm investing in Pfizer and also I do invest in Facebook. So these are a bit risky, so I do consider they are good candidates to increase its value as Pfizer right now, amidst COVID, is going to increase its revenue, and besides, uh, I do feel I also contribute in certain way, and Facebook is also like increasing as all the e-commerce is increasing, so that's something I always do. I also analyze the financial statements and see like the more important the income and how the debt is structured. For example, if a company has more debt than assets, that's a red flag. But if a company has more assets than liabilities, that's a good company. So maybe you should consider to invest there. But there's also other things like income and the potential of growth. So that's something important if you want to be safe and be confident when things go wrong, because as you know the stock market could go up or down, and the best thing people could do is to be prepared to all the scenarios. So i do I do suggest you to be prepared for uh, having your stock up and down, but also I think it's a good investment when you put some money but also some time on investment. But also start small. If you're new, start small, test it out, and then increase. But also another a tip is don't invest in only one stock. Try to diversify, because if things go things go could go wrong and the company could go bankrupt. So I know it's nice to invest, because I've done it already a couple years, and the things that most of the time I have done a successfully investment, but also they could go wrong. Uh, I have two episodes, in fact, that they went wrong, so I will just share it with you for for uh, learning purposes. So the first one was when Brexit happened. It was 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. I don't remember quite exactly at the time, but anyway, so uh, the both define the no, but after reasoning, my have I have my determination that it was the right thing to stay. So that was that was why I bought pounds at that time. The funny thing is that in politics, sometimes these things could go wrong, and it they didn't stay in the European Union, but the Brexit win, and there's still going on that separation. So it's important to be prepared to worst scenarios. After all, that was one of my first losses, I would say, but it was not that much. Maybe it was 10 or 15%. But you have to calculate and analyze a possible floor that your investment could reach, and consider if it is worthy to you to take the risk and invest. As I have lost 15%, I have even earned 20% in some investments in, I would say, 6 months. So things could go wrong sometimes. The other time it did go wrong, it was the time that I just invest in a company that was uh, going to be merged. It was an Argentinian company. I'm in North America, so uh, I know about some Latin American markets and companies. But the thing about Latin American companies is they could grow exponentially as Latin America is growing. But the thing is that there's also another forces like currency. So this time currency affect as the time I invest, the Argentinian peso devaluates compared to the dollar. So that's the reason why I just lost 30%. It was called a mobile telecom of Argentina. So that's the second time it went wrong. So yeah, I would also tell you about a nice time things go right. So one of the first times it went right, it was when I bought Telefonica. It's a Spanish a telecommunications company, and the thing is that I just bought it and have it for 2 years, and after 2 years, the return was about 30%. So it was a really good return, and I did invest more money in this and I had some experience before, so it was a and that was the percentage, but yeah, you could imagine, you could put any number from $1 to let your imagination. So yeah, that's the thing. Uh, you could do uh, good investments by reasoning and also doing some math before you invest. And also, if you're going to invest some uh, money with high return, if people who are young or even people who are older, they do invest, but I would say younger people are more prone to do riskier investments. So if you plan to do a risk investment, do it, but with the condition that it should be less than 5% or 10% of your whole net worth or income. Because keep in mind that risk uh, investments could go to zero, and I mean risky. There's a lot of places where things go from 1 to 100 times what you invest, but also they could go to zero in a short period of time. So you should be aware of that. I would say some of the riskier investments are penny stocks and also a cryptocurrency. Although I'm considering to invest in cryptocurrency myself, and I've done some risky investments as well with some results, but they are not most of my investments. Most of my investments are in long term, and I have a thing about them, and they produce also dividends, some of them, and that's a good thing to have. So yeah, I would suggest if you want to start small and keep investing more as you learn more, and also be aware of your risk and stick to it, and be conscious about if you do risk investments, you should uh, do it with with the worst scenario in mind. That's the thing. It could happen, as you could get rich in few times with risky investments. You could also go to zero in few seconds. So it's up to you. But I would suggest, after all, investing is a good way to make extra money. So think about it, and I will write write and also make more videos about this. So let me know what are your questions, and I could help you with that. Have a good week, and start investing as soon as you can. If you're doing it, be aware of best ways to invest, and I will tell you more about in the following videos. So have a great week, a productive week, and keep investing and keep learning. Bye.